Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, a very good Tuesday to you. The 14th day of April. Even I don't like to even say the date when it's this close to tax time, which, as you know, is tomorrow, April 15th. Unless you're getting an extension, which seems to be. The poor folks at UHY who do such a nice job for me, they must look at me and my paperwork and go, are you kidding me? How does this guy get out of bed in the morning? Because I'm not organized with these adult responsibilities. I never have been. Anyway, so tomorrow's tax day, or tax extension day, as it stands. The team is here. Mike Parsons, Danielle Mason. Is Rich back? Rich Luzinski?
Nope, we've got Jason until next week. Rich is enjoying a well-deserved week off.
I see him, Rich, back on the list, and I thought, well, there's a good chance because Jason Fistler must be back in because nobody takes one day. So God bless him for taking the week. And Jason's doing a great job. And together, all of us are Relentless Positive Radio. And they keep changing things around because, you know, we now, Facebook, YouTube pages do live streaming for the show. We're live streaming. And they keep me on my toes by putting Mike and Danielle in different boxes. What's going on?
Wait, am I normally? It's been a while, so am I normally on the other side?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
What, you can do it that easily? You just threw a button and that was it?
I'm a very powerful magician.
You are. Now I'm confused. Now I'm not sure you are on the far left. I think you are far left now that I think of your political leanings. But anyway, I don't know. Danielle keeps track of these things. Danielle, you're where you're supposed to be now or not?
No,
were you on the other side?
I think it was on the other side.
I thought it was too.
For the whole, you mean? Okay,
yeah.
well, just do it.
Oh,
let's do that. Let's do that thing where they do with the cup. All right, which cup is Paul under? You got to pick.
Where's the puppy finding the kibble under the cup?
That's right.
And the puppy's so happy finds one little kibble,
right?
And then they lift the other one, and there's a whole pile of kibble, and he goes. The dog looks at you like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Did you do that to me, really?
Yeah. I mean that too, Buster.
All right. Now that we've got all that 18 people see, you know, folks, tune in and watch us. It's really a lot of fun. You never can tell what's happening behind the scenes if you get a chance to do the Facebook, YouTube pages while you're obviously not driving and you're home or at the office, live streaming right now, and they keep running that. We're right here where we love being, between the Daily Dose of Dietz with All Talk and Kevin Dietz, and then right after us, JR Afternoon with Ryan Armani. You have hit the sweet spot of this great radio station. You wake up in the morning with a great morning show, JR Mornings, and then after after Ryan Armani, we have Mitch Albom. After Mitch Albom, we have Sports Wrap. After Sports Wrap, we're off to the races. Because it changes, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah. So just
7 o'clock hour changes every day.
Just stay tuned to us because you never know what you're going to hear next.
No, you never do. All right. Here's one thing you're going to hear. Yeah, you're going to hear the name President Donald Trump. And that's been that way almost since the moment he got elected. Is that true? I mean,
since he started running, really?
Well, even since he started running.
But it wasn't President Trump. So, yeah, you're right. Since he got elected.
Always something interesting to talk about, generally respectful, but there are times where we have to honestly scratch our head and say, maybe this is what we put on the little rubber band around our arm. What were you thinking? And the what were you thinking part, forget about fighting with the Pope. I'm tired of trying to tell him how that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Whether you agree with the Pope or not, it's not the point.
Right.
You're the president of the United States, and you just go above all that. But then to come out with a little cartoon, you call it a meme, I don't know what you call it anymore. It's just, I'll tell you what it is, distasteful to make yourself, especially after attacking the Pope, to make yourself Jesus Christ and be healing people. And then to think that apparently we're so stupid, we are going to believe him when he says, I thought I was a doctor and making a promo for the Red Cross.
Yeah, my first thought was, how do Donald Trump's doctors dress at the office?
Must be very odd because they must be very old and biblical.
Right.
But here's the thing. This may be a reach. But remember, I've known him 40 years. He may not even be familiar with that iconic look that we've all grown up with as knowing Jesus Christ. He may not, he honestly, because there's a lot of stuff. As brilliant as he is in some ways, he is clueless in so many other ways. And one of them might be that he doesn't understand what an iconic picture that is of Jesus Christ healing someone. Because he wouldn't have said, oh, I thought that was me as a doctor. I mean, you can't, if you ever really paid attention and knew the other iconic picture, you wouldn't say that. But I think that he really may not be aware of it because it had nothing to do with real estate and business and all the things that have mattered to him greatly that can benefit our country. But then there are these moments when it's not such a benefit.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember when he held that Bible upside down and backwards, he didn't look like he was too familiar with the contents. So I guess
What's your favorite passage in the Bible, Mr. Brown? Oh, I like them all. Yeah, good answer. I tried to do that in high school.
He said 2 Corinthians. That's the whole ball game there. I remember that was early on in his tenure.
All right. So anyway, you may not remember this, but I certainly do. There used to be, and maybe there still are, and they're available still because he still sells them. He's online. It's the fabulous aerial photo artist Dale Fisher's 93rd birthday today.
Wow.
These are those unbelievable shots taken from Dale hanging out of a helicopter. Many of them, maybe just because I was a Michigan student and Michigan grad,
okay.
Many of them were Michigan related. The big house, Wolverine Stadium, the whole deal. Beautiful artistic photographs taken from angles we never saw before because he was taking them hanging out of a helicopter. You are so fast.
Yeah.
Look at this. For those of you lucky enough on the Facebook and YouTube pages live streaming, you're seeing some of his photo work. I'll try to, for those who can't see it, remind you that he's done these wonderful popular prints of Michigan Stadium at daytime, nighttime, the jets flying over.
And I feel like if you have a basement or a man cave in Metro Detroit, you probably have one of these pictures hanging up there.
And if you don't, you should. Dale Fisher, aerial photo artist extraordinaire, turning 93 today. One of the nicest, sweetest people ever. There's a Zach Bryan, John Mayer, Mayer concert.
2025, so he's been working.
He's still working, still hanging out of that helicopter and taking pictures.
I hope at the age of 90 I'm hanging out of anything.
Well, let me just tell you, I can guess just from looking ahead, at the age of 90, there'll be several things hanging out of you. And some of them no one told you about.
Right.
And I'm living with that myself. Anyway.
Others will require surgery.
Here's hoping you can avoid any surgery for anything hanging out of your body at any age. All right, we better move. We got a lot to talk about today. And a great guy to start the show off with, of course, the one and only Nolan Finley. Stay with us. In Focus with Paul W. Smith and the team on WJR. I love to come back to my family. That's you, our listeners. And we've been together for years, and I appreciate that more than you could ever imagine. And our family of advertisers. And if you don't advertise with WJR, you are missing out. You should call Jeff Marcereau at the radio station. Or if a WJR account executive contacts you, you should hear what they have to say, because we have, over 101 years, helped businesses make hundreds of millions of dollars by getting the word out. And we're very particular. I am, at least in my live reads. I don't tell you about people that I don't know are spectacular. I may have been forced to do that once or twice in my career, but nobody tries that anymore. That's the beauty of being around a while. So when I tell you about Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, I'm telling you about a family that I know, a family that I trust, a family that I've hired, and couldn't be happier with. And as the sounds, smells, and warmth of spring have finally arrived here in this great state of ours, Michigan, so has the threat of those nasty spring storms. And many of us have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. But my friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are here to help. There's no company I trust more in this industry because I know the family, I know the company, and I know none of their people work on commission. They're not trying to sell you something you don't need. This year, I want you to be ready for Mother Nature like we are, with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. You know, if your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. Rest assured, the technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working, with locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake. They've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Dan Pelko, Crystal Klempert-Pelko, the next generation, still the family. Visit familyheating.com to schedule your free estimate today. That's familyheating.com. They'll have all the phone numbers, all the locations near you. Familyheating.com. And see what Dan Pelko, Crystal Klempert-Pelko, the next generation of family, can do for your family. We continue in focus on WJR.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Rocket Mortgage has thousands of loan options, and we search them all to find the low rate that's right for you.
Could you be mine?
No matter what challenges you face on the road ahead, Rocket Mortgage is your partner for the life of your loan.
Need a towel? Yeah.
Please won't you be my neighbor?
Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, do you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right? Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, industrial, or public electrical construction project. NECA members like Electrical Power and Design are powering Michigan's future, project after project, on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. Currently, we are accident-free on the area roadways. We do have stop-and-go traffic due to an earlier accident, I-94 eastbound between West Grand Boulevard and Shane Street. Construction has your left lane closed. 75 southbound at I-96, as well as roadwork has your left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street and 10 Mile Road. That's closed in both directions, reduced to one lane due to construction at Woodward Avenue. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a high of 81 degrees. Rain showers early with scattered thunderstorms arriving overnight and a low of 62. Cloudy skies during the morning hours on Wednesday, followed by thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 74. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, the Pope versus the President versus the Pope. The gloves appear to be off. What do you make of the latest spat involving the Vatican and Washington? Plus, your phone calls when we see you at 2 o'clock, 760 WJR.
I don't know. Maybe good job, Ryan Ermani. He's going to be talking about everybody's talking about it. I mean, it's unavoidable. Maybe even Nolan Finley has a thought. He's the editorial page editor of the Detroit News, all-around good guy, good friend, 50 years at the newspaper, co-author of the Civility book, a guide to building bridges across the political divide with Nolan and Stephen Henderson, his friend. They don't agree politically, but they're friends. Remember when that used to be able to happen? And Lynn Goldner helping out too. Nolan, good afternoon. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Hey, Paul. Good to talk to you.
Hey, we got, there's several things to talk. Is the president being Jesus Christ, but that's another thing. Or the president going after the Pope, or in the past when I was screaming at the television screen when he went after the Gold Star family. Things he can avoid and not step into, but he does not apparently feel he's not capable of not stepping into it. And I'm not. I can't believe that that's a plan. I really can't. I can't believe that he's so foxy, so wise that he does these things for some reason we can't figure out.
Now, Paul, I wrote a column after one of these episodes a year or so ago that he needed someone around him who could look at everything he does on social media and tap him on the shoulder and say, I'm not sure I'd do that. You know, you might not want to send that. And I think we all can use people like that around us who will protect us from our worst instincts. And I don't believe he's got anyone around him willing or capable of doing that, or at least, or if he does, he doesn't listen to him. But I mean, you should know, portraying yourself as Jesus and the Pope as your sort of the person you're consoling is not going to play well on social media, and it sends all kinds of messages about what's going on in your head. Does he have a messianic complex? I mean, does he think he's the savior of the world? What is this all about?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. And we could spend all day and not figure it out, but we're not going to. We've talked about it. I want to talk about a few other things. We got a couple of congressmen resigning after sexual misconduct accusations. I almost feel like one of those rich liberal guys gave money to the second congressman to quit so that it would take pressure off the Democrat quitting. And I want to point something out that really upsets me, and I try to point it out to my listeners whenever I see it. There's a People magazine story that Mike Parsons attached to your information today. And do you realize in the entire story, they mentioned the California gubernatorial frontrunner, Eric Swalwell, and the Texas Republican announced via social media they would step down from their positions. Do you know that nowhere in the People magazine article that I can see does it mention that Swalwell is a Democrat? The first thing they mention about the other guy is that he's a Republican. That happens all the time in the institutional media, all the time.
You got to, you always have to be wary of your news sources and make sure you're picking credible, unbiased sources the best you can. And, I think People magazine shows its colors. But the California incident, I think, is the more curious of these two. And I'm not sure that there's not outside influence here. I mean, there's been some suggestions that Tom Steyer, the billionaire, multi-billionaire, who's also running for governor, might be behind that, because that one's as curious as can be. I mean, you've got a staffer who says he sexually assaulted her, raped her twice after nights of drinking, and that, he has continually harassed her over a couple of years. Well, why is this just now coming up? And how credible are these claims? And you've got to look in this instance, I think, whether there isn't something else behind this, because they've got this jungle primary going on in California, with some suggesting that you might get one or two Republicans in the final runoff. And I think there's some manipulation going on here.
But why would Swalwell go along with it if he truly believes he's not guilty? Why would he step away?
Because he's guilty of something. I mean,
everybody is,
probably
but
in his mind, he's guilty of something. And these are not allegations you can fight or survive. But it just seems really strange. The one woman they're giving press to said, well, he asked if he could buy me a drink and got flirty in a bar. Well, we wouldn't have much of a Congress left if that was standard. And I'm no fan of Swalwell. I think he's smarmy, and I suspect he's a sleazebag. But I also feel like he might be getting railroaded here by folks with a lot more money than he's got.
Fascinating. I never thought of that. I actually thought that that somebody went up to the Republican who had not resigned, and we'd heard his story quite some time ago about one of his staffers that he had an affair with, and then she killed herself. I mean, yikes.
Now, that's a whole different category, Paul. I mean,
yeah.
I don't
and yet
know
he
why.
never said he was going to resign until this guy says he's resigning.
That should have been an automatic resignation.
Yeah.
And whether the Swalwell resignation put him, in that position or not, he should have been gone from day one.
Right. News today, and I don't have her name. You've got this. This is a bad sign of things to come, and maybe it's a question of what took so long. But some reporter for Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, now run by his widow Erica, the reporter was attacked for just being on location at an event because of who she was reporting for, Turning Point USA. She was attacked, physically abused, pushed to the ground. I mean, this is the next step that's out of control here, and it'll be fascinating to see what happens to these people.
Well, it's that prevailing attitude, particularly on the left, that your beliefs are so righteous, and you have so many more rights than other people because of your beliefs. And I think it does lead to incidents like this. And you're right, it'll get worse. There's just no tolerance for opposing views in our society today.
It is a problem. It has some people not even wanting to talk about politics, the war in Iran, or anything among friends, because it can end friendships. It can divide families. It's just astonishing.
You wrote about that this week or yesterday, I guess, right? When did that column run? Monday?
Monday. Yeah. It seems like a long time ago. It was yesterday. The news cycle is blazing.
So, people should take a look at that. I mean, it's true. We're walking around on eggshells constantly because we don't know how to disagree civilly.
Is there
and there's
chance?
A book that might help you learn to do that, Paul.
It's called The Civility Book, A Guide to Building Bridges Across the Political Divide. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We all need to read it now more than ever. Unfortunately, the people who really need to read it don't think they need to. Because they're right and there is no political divide.
Yeah, and
it's just all those other people who are wrong.
And that's why we can't get anything done in either Washington or Lansing. There's no give. There's no room for consensus or compromise. it's 100% my way or we're not going anywhere. This country's not moving. The state's not going to move unless it moves the way, one side wants it or the other.
The book is The Civility Book, A Guide to Building Bridges Across the Political Divide by Nolan Finley, Stephen Henderson. These are two guys that are politically at opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're very good friends. You see, it can be done, my friends. Used to be done in Washington. They'd fight like hell during the day and then go to Old Ebbitt's Grill and have a cocktail with the guy they were screaming at earlier. But it doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Thanks, Nolan. Appreciate it. We'll always have plenty to talk about, and you're one of the great guys we like to go to. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Paul. Thank you.
All right, you take care. As we continue, Focus with Paul W. Smith at WJR. Well, I know that there's some stormage in the forecast, and it's all around us again, and I understand that. This is spring, and the weather is warming up. And it is time to start thinking about home improvement projects. Most important, yet overlooked, spring home improvement project really might be getting your roof inspected to make sure that it's still keeping the water outside of your home. Why is that important for the spring? Well, the freeze-thaw cycles of the winter can cause the shingles on your roof to become brittle and to develop tiny micro cracks in them. Call Victor's Home Solutions today before the spring rush hits and schedule a free 21-point roof inspection. They're going to go over every square inch of your roof and make sure that there is nowhere water can get in. This also allows you to catch minor problems early and fix them with an inexpensive repair. Repairing water damage from a leaky roof is far more expensive than keeping your roof maintained and making minor repairs along the way. So by the way, let's face it, this is the business they're in. And if it's time for a new roof like it was for me, Victor's has you covered, unlike anyone I've ever seen. Prompt follow-up, on-time appointments. They actually show up when they say they're going to. Clear communication, perfect installation the first time, incredible cleanup. And they also offer an industry-leading 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Call them today before the spring rains get into your home. It's 1-866-VICTORS. 1-866-VICTORS, or online at victors.com. That's simple, victors.com, online, or 1-866-VICTORS. I would do it while you're thinking about it. It could save yourself a lot of money. We continue in Focus on WJR at 1232.
Here's Ryan Goldberg, President and CEO of DFCU Financial.
At DFCU, our credit union is all about our members and the community. We're not just focused on numbers and metrics, but we are focused on doing the right thing for our communities. That's why we pay back earnings to our members through a very popular cashback program.
How about small business owners? How do they benefit from being with DFCU?
Our business and commercial banking teams bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to benefit you. By understanding your unique financial needs, our team can deliver tailored lending solutions, deposit, and treasury management. Working with DFCU means you'll have access to decision makers and benefit from speed to market. We're in a strong liquidity position, and that means we have money to lend and the willingness to lend it. Business lenders often have a box that customers must fit into. We don't work that way.
Some restrictions apply. Visit dfcufinancial.com for details. DFCU Financial is an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com. 760 WJR and the Detroit Economic Club are pleased to present the 2026 Detroit Lions on the clock. Thursday, April 16th at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Detroit Lions team president Rod Wood will review last season and look ahead to 2026. And after, a panel of Lions beat writers will join WXYZ TV's Brad Galley in the interactive multimedia conversation. It's Focus, noon till 2 as we broadcast live. Special coverage sponsored by DFCU Financial. For tickets and more information, visit econclub.org.
Kick back with Lomas Brown and Anthony Bellino. Everything you need to stay in the game on Sports Wrap.
Did everyone overreact to Michigan's portal success?
I wouldn't say overreact. I think it was more just a sign of the times. What I don't think gets enough credit is how they evaluated the players and fit and built a team, not a roster.
Sports Wrap, 6 to 7 p.m. on 760 WJR. Thanks for listening to WJR and Focus. Here's Paul W. Smith.
Well, residents living along the Cheboygan River near the city's dam remain on alert as water levels continue creeping toward a dangerous threshold. Our WJR's Marie Osborne, I made you one of the Osmond family. Marie Osborne joins us with the latest. And what I was going to say to you, Marie, is what I'm hearing is that people are saying who've lived there all their lives, they've never seen anything like it.
No, absolutely. That is the word coming from everyone in that area. So this morning, the waters behind the Cheboygan Lock and Dam are at about 7.7 inches below the crest of the dam. The water's rising more than 6 inches in just the last 24 hours. Emergency officials are saying that the surge of the spin-off, or the spring runoff rather, fueled lingering snow melt and days of heavy rain. It's all pushed that into the river close to overtopping the dam. The tiered warning system is now in effect. We told you about this yesterday, the Ready, Set, Go. Authorities are asking people in these low-lying areas, pack essential items, move your valuables, stay clear of the riverbanks. Officials are stressing that conditions can change very quickly, especially with more rain that's expected in the days coming up. Officials have also placed 5 pumps at the dam. They're moving the water around it. They've placed hundreds of sandbags along the areas of the dam. What we don't know, is this enough? A precautionary flood zone has been identified downstream, where residents are asked to remain ready and to monitor official updates. Transportation officials have already closed the US 23 bridge. This is a safety measure. And Paul, by the way, alerts are going to be sent directly to cell phones of people who live in that area if evacuations are ordered, and they're going to have to move fast.
I'm going to, it's a terrible situation, and I'm going to salute all of the people who are so involved in preparing for this. No one's going to say that we weren't ready for this, as ready as you can be for this kind of a horrific disaster. I mean, aren't you impressed, Marie, by the fact that there's so many people who are working on this and preparing people, so that there can't be anybody who doesn't know this is happening.
Exactly. That this is, that they are doing a great job. And I know that local law enforcement and so on is on the case here. I've talked to a couple people up in that area, and they say that they are. It's just a scary, scary situation. This is different than remember what happened in Midland when the dam there, the Edenville Dam, that people were not completely prepared. They were really unprepared for that, completely unprepared. So I think now they understand the devastation that could be caused by this if they're not working on it.
And think of this. Here you are facing all of that potential death and destruction, but certainly destruction, and realizing that Consumers Energy has announced that if it does come to be, they're going to have to turn the power off. And so you know how bad it is. I don't want to say we're lucky enough, but in a sense, we're lucky enough to maybe face a power outage once in a while. But imagine a power outage in the midst of all of this.
Oh, and that you can't, well, first of all, you can't power up your phone and your I mean, this is how you're going to communicate with people.
Right.
Your electronics. You can't wash your clothes. You can't take a hot shower. I mean, all the things. All
Over and above the big thing, which would be the potential devastating flooding. It's something. And yet there are people like customers at Catfisher Bait and Tackle in Cheboygan, a bait shop upstream of the Cheboygan Dam, who have a sense of humor, in a sense, if this is a sense of humor. They're referring to all of this as Damageddon. I mean, I guess you got to laugh if you can't, or you cry. You laugh or you cry, but I thought it was clever for them to be calling it Damageddon.
Very clever. And then this morning I saw Mandy Wright is one of the excellent photographers at the Detroit Free Press, and she did a photo expose in the Free Press. You can go see it if you'd like. But she interviewed a young couple who were out with a stroller looking at what was happening, and their last name was Dam.
Oh my gosh. What are the odds?
I know.
What do the dams think about the dam problem?
I was surprised that the headline writer could resist something completely clever on that.
That is something that's hard to resist, isn't it? All right. Anything else we need to know about our
Keep
friends,
our eye
family,
on this
neighbors in
one.
Sheboygan?
Yeah, keep our eye on this one. So many of the people we know, right, have cottages up in that area, and
It's
you
such
know,
a
it's their
beautiful
happy
part of-
place.
We are fortunate to live in such a beautiful part of God's country, but we also face some challenges. Now, not like lots of other people in lots of other places where they live and they fight hurricanes and wildfires and mudslides and all of that.
Right.
That doesn't make this any easier, but I'm just saying it seems as if every place has its pluses and minuses, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But who would have counted on or guessed that a dam would be the issue here? And hoping and praying that a very old dam, in many situations and cases, very old, is going to hold.
Absolutely. We're keeping an eye on it.
Okay. And I know you'll report to us whenever there's new information. WJR's Director of Community Affairs and News, Marie Osborne, as we continue with Paul W. Smith in Focus on WJR. You know, when it comes to outdoor power equipment, you're never on your own, because since 1945, Weingart's customers and communities have trusted Weingart's for expert advice. That's a good plan. And that's why Weingart stands behind John Deere lawn and garden tractors. John Deere, that's iconic quality. John Deere, known for durability, dependability, and equipment built to last. They have earned the trust of property owners for generations, built to the exacting standards that have made John Deere legendary. These tractors are engineered for proven performance season after season. Whether you're maintaining your lawn week after week or tackling bigger jobs around your property, John Deere is the kind of equipment you can count on year after year. From equipment, parts, repairs, and at-home service, Weingart's is here every step of the way. Stop by their stores, where their experts help you choose the right John Deere for your lawn or any work that you have around the house or office or wherever. You can visit Weingarts.com. Visit them online at Weingarts.com, Weingartz, Weingarts.com, during their Ready, Set, Spring event going on right now. Expert solutions, honest value, easy ownership, and one of the greatest philanthropic families I've ever heard of. It's the Weingarts family, and that's the Weingarts way. We continue on WJR.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management, and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now. 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
760 WJR and the Detroit Economic Club are pleased to present the 2026 Detroit Lions on the clock. Thursday, April 16th at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Detroit Lions team president Rod Wood will review last season and look ahead to 2026. And after, a panel of Lions beat writers will join WXYZ TV's Brad Galley in the interactive multimedia conversation. It's Focus, noon till 2 as we broadcast live. Special coverage sponsored by DFCU Financial. For tickets and more information, visit econclub.org.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Gardner White's Spring Savings Event is on now, and you can save 25%. Find exceptional deals on Lazy Boy Comfort, quality power reclining sofas from FlexSteel, the Drew and Jonathan Collection, flexible, comfortable, and built to last, and many more of the top-rated furniture brands, including the latest new arrivals. Smart financing and free same-day delivery make this the perfect season for a fresh start at home. Gardner White's Spring Savings Event, now through April 29th.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by WeatherSeal Home Improvements. Save thousands on a new roof this year with a roof trade-in at WeatherSealHomeImprovements.com. Do a roof trade-in and get 50% off roof installation. Now, that's a great deal. To qualify for this exclusive offer, visit WeatherSealHomeImprovements.com. That's WeatherSealHomeImprovements.com. I-75 northbound, that on-ramp from Springwells, a disabled vehicle there has cleared. We do have a crash on Ford Road at Lots Road. Construction has your left lane closed. 75 southbound at I-96, roadwork has your left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street, and you'll find that construction has the roadway reduced to one lane, 10-mile road in both directions at Woodward Avenue. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a high of 81 degrees. Rain showers early with scattered thunderstorms arriving overnight and a low of 62. Cloudy skies during the morning hours on Wednesday, followed by thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 74. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Well, we enter into the confusing fray of war and standoffs and politics and your retirement program, your KEO, IRA, whatever they call it now. There are very few pensions anymore in the world. But thank goodness there are people like David Sowerby, a managing director, portfolio manager at Ancora Bloomfield Hills, to try to help us make sense of now apparently a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, what effect that will have on markets, on our retirement accounts, all of our investments, all of our costs, our gas, our fruits and vegetables, our groceries. And it's confusing because I thought we were fighting the Iranians to keep open the Strait of Hormuz. Now it seems like we're fighting them and we're going to close all of these ports. I hope David Sowerby, you can make some sense of this to help us not be so worried. Good afternoon, David.
Paul, always good to be with you. I think you can summarize it this way. You and I and all your listeners, we don't like paying $4 for a gallon of gas at all. And it cuts into overall consumer spending. However, since the start of the war with Iraq, the S&P 500 is actually flat now. U.S. small company stocks, which are generally a little more cyclical, they're up about to the good. They're plus 3%. So the stock market's been relatively resilient in the face of $100 oil and $4 for a gallon of gas.
Yeah, but I have to tell you this. And I've heard the president say this a number of times, the biggest stock market in our history and all of these sorts of things. I'm here to tell you, I do not believe the average person feels this. Or maybe it's better, maybe the average person like myself doesn't understand this. And maybe you should explain to us how we are all indeed, unbeknownst to us, benefiting from the way the stock market is going and not worry as much about the $4 gas, which we paid $5 when Biden, so that I write that off, or the $100 oil or anything else that's going on. How are we benefiting and not getting it?
Well, let's cut it into two time periods. The first is longer-term wealth creation to pay for retirement, daughters' weddings, college education, you name it. That is still very much in force. But for the near-term pain, it is there. If you look at the price for a gallon of gas, $4, mortgage rates certainly higher than they were at the beginning of the year as interest rates went higher. That cost of borrowing has gone up. And then inflation running 3% compared to year-ago levels, that has marginally ticked higher. So I certainly understand to the average household that they're not happy with higher mortgage rates a little bit, higher gas prices by over $1 a gallon, and inflation that's still running 3%, not 2%. So I think that's near-term discomfort. We don't like it. It's unacceptable. Long-term, the market is creating wealth for households.
There's the line. Long-term, the market is creating wealth for households. Break that down for the average person, not somebody on Wall Street, not somebody who's hugely invested, but for the average person who doesn't even think of themselves in the stock market, even though they are. If they have a 401k or any money set aside for retirement, it's probably in a mutual fund that either is being run by someone good like you, David Sowerby, or just sitting there. Try to help them understand how they're benefiting from this, because they don't see it, feel it.
Sure. So that's the long-term wealth effect that your 401k, if you retired, your IRA, your tax-exempt assets, your savings, to the extent you have a portion of that, maybe not all of it, but a portion of that in the stock market, that's improving your wealth creation. And we sit here today, and one of the reasons why stocks have been more resilient than otherwise expected with oil going up is that we're in the top of the first inning for first quarter corporate profit reports. And the likelihood is U.S. corporate profits are going to grow 10 to 12% up compared to year ago levels. And that's really the lifeblood to the economy. It's the lifeblood to forward stock price returns is the health of U.S. companies and their ability to create shareholder wealth.
My fear is, but what came to my mind immediately, David Sowerby with us, Managing Director, Portfolio Manager at Ancora Bloomfield Hills. And by full disclosure, he's done work for us, and happily so. My fear is that these corporate profits are going up at the cost of them cutting jobs, because I'm hearing of so many jobs being cut so many places. Certainly, that's one way to increase corporate profits, but it doesn't help the average person unless they're a stockholder in that company, I guess.
Well, I'd like job growth to be faster, but we are actually still increasing jobs, as we saw most recently in the month of March. Unemployment rate, roughly 4.5%, still pretty low in the state of Michigan too, within spitting range of U.S. unemployment rates. So companies are improving productivity, they're generating profits, they're spending on capital and equipment, and they're still hiring people. And I absolutely do not fall in the category that artificial intelligence is going to be a job killer. It's going to be a productivity enhancer and ultimately benefit the economy.
Well, I'm happy to hear you. You're a level-headed guy, because I know you so well. I've known you for years. I'm happy to hear you say that you believe that, because there are a lot of people who are scared of AI, and there's no shortage of stories of people telling us why we should fear AI. And I know that life is full of fearmongers.
They are so hopefully wrong, Paul. The people who are most worried about AI destroying their jobs are probably in the industries where they're not a threat, and where AI, maybe has some implications in some of the software industries. Those are where mid-level workers are encouraged by artificial intelligence, not to get sideways on it, but this is nothing more than the automobile, electricity, the internet. It's a productivity enhancer, and it's going to make the economy grow.
David Sowerby, Managing Director, Portfolio Manager at Ancora Bloomfield Hills. Whenever we're nervous about the economy, about investments, we rely on David Sowerby. Thank you, David.
My pleasure. Thank you, Paul.
We've got another hour to go in Focus with Paul W. Smith, right here with the team, Mike Parsons, Daniel Mason, Jason Fissler in for Rich on WJR.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you know Weingarts offers at-home maintenance on tractors, zero-turn riders, and lawnmowers? No need to load up your machine or wait in line. They come to you and perform annual maintenance that your machine needs to keep it running like new. Visit Weingarts.com and schedule your at-home maintenance today.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit. A Cumulus media station.
An accuser goes public. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, one of several women accusing Congressman Eric Swalwell of sexual misconduct.
We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room.
Lana Drews says she considered Swalwell a friend at the time and thinks he had drugged her drink.
When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me and he choked me.
Drews says she lost consciousness, blaming her delay on reporting the 2018 incident on fear, not doubt. She plans to make a report today to the LA County Sheriff's Office. Her lawyers slamming Swalwell's apology about mistakes in judgment, as he also calls allegations false. He has suspended a run for California governor and resigned from Congress. Day 2 of a U.S. blockade of ships going to or from Iranian ports, aimed at ramping up pressure on Iran to make a deal with the U.S. U.S. Central Command says several merchant vessels have complied with direction from U.S. forces to turn around. A new aviation safety bill proposed after last year's deadly midair collision near D.C. is working its way through Congress.
The ALERT Act has backing from the National Transportation Safety Board and aviation industry groups. It would require aircraft flying in and out of busy airports to be fitted with new locator systems, letting pilots know more precisely where other aircraft are. The NTSB has been recommending the technology since 2008, and the agency's chairwoman says it could have prevented the collision of an American Airlines jet and Army Black Hawk helicopter over the Potomac River last year.
Fox's Jared Halpern in D.C. That bill could advance with a House vote this week, but victims' families are pushing for a stronger version with timelines for reforms. America is listening to Fox News.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hour number 2 on this Tuesday, April 14th. I know. If it's April 14th, that means tomorrow is April 15th, and you know what that means. It's also somewhere, date-wise, somewhere around something with the Titanic. I remember that because of the tax day, the 15th, and my birthday, the 18th. The Titanic is somewhere in there. And, of course, I took full responsibility for that the moment I was born.
April 15th, 1912 is when the Titanic sank.
See, I told you. I remember bits and pieces of a million things. But I only go about that deep on them, about a half an inch deep. But I remember them.
One day we'll put it all together like a puzzle.
Well, let's put it together like a book and make some moolah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So we're headlong into hour number 2 on this Tuesday, April 14th. The team. You just heard the voice of Mike Parsons, our fine executive producer. You rarely hear from Danielle Mason, but occasionally when she has something to say, it's always important. The queen of the switches, she's been called. And Rich Luzinski is off. Jason Fistler doing a fine job. Can Jason hear me? Is he anywhere near Mike? I have no idea. Jason, speak up if you can hear me.
Well, he's up, but he's not there.
Okay. All right. Well, he's doing a fine job. He's got a great voice, He's got that real announcer voice.
Smooth like butter.
Like butter. Yeah. Relentless positive radio is what we're all about, and it's not always easy these days. You can stream us, podcast us on WJR.com. Come back if you can't be here noon to 2. Listen to the show. It matters. And I hope you have the free WJR app. Even I figured out how to get it on my phone. Sometimes I make myself laugh. Facebook and YouTube pages live streaming right now. And we're stuck in the middle here. It's a great sandwich. Of the bread on the outside is, well, no, I can't make it into a sandwich. I run out of the fixins. But first, it's the Daily Dose of Dietz. All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Then it's us, Focus, with Paul W. Smith. And then JR Afternoon with Ryan Armani. It's just great listening from first thing in the morning with the JR morning team and all the way through Mitch Album and sports rap and everything. This is a great radio station that costs you nothing to listen to. And everything's costing money now. Look at the new sports channels we're going to have to pay for just to see games. It's just kind of crazy. Remember radio. Oh, and a station I used to work at, WABC in New York. I forgot to dig it up again. I told my friend and boss, Steve Finateri, about this the other day. Son of a gun. They had a full-page ad in the New York Post saying, don't buy cars from companies that are no longer putting AM radios in their cars. They have a full campaign, full-page ad in the New York Post saying, from WABC, my old station, don't buy cars from companies that don't put AM radios in cars anymore. We've gone about that in a different way. We had conversations with the good people at Ford Motor Company and have gotten a promise from right at the top, Bill Ford, that smiling, laughing, said, as long as you're on the air, Paul, we'll keep AM radios in the car. Well, the station then signed me to a 100-year contract, which I was happy to sign.
You can never leave, Paul.
I don't. I hope I never do leave, but if I do, it'll be feet first. I didn't load these. How foolish of me. So I don't have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2026 inductees.
Oh, okay. I can pull that
Do you
up.
have that?
Yeah.
If there's too many of them, forget about it. But maybe name the names that we would all know and say, oh, I thought they were already in there.
Yeah. Well, the first one that comes to mind is Phil Collins. I thought Phil Collins was already in the Rock and Roll
I would
Hall
have
of
thought
Fame.
Phil Collins was already
Yeah.
there.
So here we go. Phil Collins, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, Oasis, Sade, Luther Vandross, and the Wu-Tang Clan.
Interesting. I know most of them. I don't know all of them though.
Yeah, the Wu-Tang Clan's a rap group.
I remember the name. I couldn't tell you one of their songs, but there was a couple of others in there that I wasn't that familiar with. But anyway,
Oasis are those brothers from England who are always fighting.
See, I didn't know that. I guess
Wonderwall. If you've ever heard of Wonderwall, that's them.
Never have heard of Wonderwall.
Luther Vandross, good to see him.
Certainly Luther, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this should be called the Music Hall of Fame, because when people hear someone outside of the rock and roll genre, like, that's not rock and roll. And I don't blame those people. I blame the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for not being called the Music Hall of Fame, because Luther Vandross definitely deserves to be in there.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Do you know a lot of people that talk that way? That's not the rock and roll. That's not rock and roll.
Well, I know people who say that, but no,
I understand what you mean.
Not in the rough. That's a caricature that I just made up. So
it's a good one.
Yeah.
You could take a bite out of crime with that one. That was
me and McGruff always argue over music.
Yeah. Well, good job. Well done. We've got all the problems we talked about with Marie about Cheboygan and flooding, but we have our own stormage in the forecast, right?
Yeah, I heard that today we might hit a record high of 82. And when it's that warm this early on in the year, that usually means storms. So I think we're at like a mid-level risk for severe weather. What severe weather is, it could be anything from wind, hail, to maybe some isolated tornadoes. So just make sure you keep your phones near you. So if we have to put out an EAS alert here overnight while you're sleeping.
And shameless plug, your radio's tuned to 760 AM.
Right.
We still are AM, and we are the information dial. And that's how the emergency broadcast people reach people, through AM and through a 50,000 watt radio station like WJR's The Lead Dog. We're the big dog. When Cheboygan, we know that the dam is teetering near spillover. We haven't had spillover yet. We'll, of course, report that immediately. The Michigan man being held in his wife's disappearance in the Bahamas had been released, as his lawyer said they had to do. But they also said that he could have been rearrested right at that moment, and the clock started ticking again. But I don't think that happened.
No, yeah, and I don't know how they would rearrest him, if they could just rearrest him for the same charges. But no, he left, but I believe he's going to stay in the Bahamas because he's still a suspect. But yeah, they had 96 hours. They didn't have any evidence. And I heard the main thing is they can't confirm if his wife is dead yet or not. I mean, you assume.
Yeah, that's what I heard the lawyer say. They don't have a body, so there's no way to prove that she's in fact dead. It's a horrible story, no matter how this ends up. I mean, it's already been tragic with the death. Now, do we know our ex-Michigan football coach was set to learn if he faces jail time, Sharon Moore? Was that today that he was set to learn this, or when?
I heard about 2:00.
Okay.
And most people think he's not going to get jail time because
as the story unraveled, it unraveled in a completely different way.
Right, because he was threatening to hurt himself. He wasn't threatening to hurt his friend.
He would have been the first person who would have been charged with trying to assault himself with a butter knife.
Right. So I don't think he's going to face any jail time, but
just a sad story all the way around. I mean, it's another person who had a tremendous deal and opportunity to make boatloads of money doing what he loved doing, and the little head took over in charge of the big head.
And the crazy thing is, Paul, I think his football career could have survived the cheating scandal, right? I mean, he never would be like the head coach at Michigan again, but he could have gotten a coordinator job or he could have gotten a head coaching job at a smaller school. But once he broke into that woman's apartment, I think that's where he sunk his career for the foreseeable future.
Tough situation, a bad situation all the way around. And we've had too many of those, that's for sure. All right, we're underway. Hour number 2 coming up. Anthony Forlini, Macomb County Clerk, has been endorsed by the Michigan GOP for Secretary of State. We'll talk with Anthony up next here. In Focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR. I like to think that a lot of things we talk about are important. I can guarantee you this is of major importance, and it does affect you, even though you might not think so, because you say, wait a minute, trust, no, that's for the rich people. Well, I got to tell you something. It's for anybody who has anything. Probate is bad. Probate is slow. Probate is expensive, and probate is completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. You see, a revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and you protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. Might I recommend the folks I'm looking forward to speaking with in great detail, the folks at Estate Planning Legal Services. Estate Planning Legal Services. Their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve and that you want for your family as well. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation. Free consultation. Learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. Oh, yes, you. I mean you. I'm looking at you. Call 248-435-0400. That's 248-435-0400. Or go to EPLSPC.com. That stands for Estate Planning Legal Services PC.com. That's EPLSPC.com. Or call them at 248-435-0400. Estate Planning Legal Services. You will thank me for this, and so will your family in the future. We continue Focus with Paul W. Jr.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? If so, tune in to Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Joe will help make sure you get the retirement you deserve, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Did you know Weingarts offers at-home maintenance on tractors, zero-turn riders, and lawnmowers? No need to load up your machine or wait in line. They come to you and perform annual maintenance that your machine needs to keep it running like new. Visit Weingarts.com and schedule your at-home maintenance today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it. With a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest is back at Lowe's. Shop select bags of decorative rock, 2 for $12, and select one-pint annuals for $2. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by My Fair Lady at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live theater at Thumb Coast Theaters in St. Clair. Don't miss the beloved musical My Fair Lady, where an elitist professor bets he can transform a spirited girl from London's lower class into a refined lady in 6 months. Get your tickets at thumbcoasttheaters.com. I-96 westbound after Grand River Avenue, that accident is cleared. We do have a crash. Telegraph Road northbound at Quarton Road. That's causing slowdowns from Maple Road. You'll find construction 75 northbound between Dix Highway and Southfield Road. That's causing backups to Northline Road. That work's scheduled till 2 o'clock this afternoon. And 8 Mile Road, that is closed in both directions due to construction between Novi Road and Griswold Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a high of 81 degrees. Showers early with scattered thunderstorms arriving overnight with a low of 62 degrees. And cloudy skies during the morning hours on Wednesday, followed by thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 74. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, the Pope versus the President versus the Pope. The gloves appear to be off. What do you make of the latest spat involving the Vatican and Washington? Plus, your phone calls when we see you at 2 o'clock, 760 WJR.
I could not make this up. I'm about to welcome Anthony Forlini, Macomb County Clerk, who's been endorsed by the Michigan GOP for Secretary of State. I am not kidding you. At this same moment, I have received on my cell phone a spam scam claiming to be from the Michigan Secretary of State with a final critical alert with their database indicating traffic violations tied to my account that have not been resolved.
Oh, my.
Can you believe it? It's a spam scam from the Michigan Secretary of State, who apparently has moved out of state because the phone number isn't a Michigan phone number. How do they know I was about to talk to you, for God's sakes? It's just astonishing to me. Anthony,
it's amazing.
I know this is not the fault of our current Secretary of State, but it is amazing how people are doing these illegal things. I hope that if you become Secretary of State, you will somehow bring the hammer down on people who are scamming, especially scamming the elderly and others, and claiming to be from the Michigan Secretary of State's office. I will back you 1,000,000,000% if you will just make sure those people, if they can be found, go to prison forever.
There are so many phone numbers out there, so many people duplicating. I'm not sure that you can ever find all these people, but the good news is my cell phone actually screened some of those out. So maybe that's the answer.
Mine did say this is probably spam. It did say that.
That's right.
Whatever. Be that as it may, how are things going? Congratulations on getting the pick from the party.
Well, I appreciate that. And it was kind of stunning to me because we, out of a 3-person race, we went on the first ballot, which really was a very humbling and a great testament. I think it's been decades since that's ever happened in a three-way race. We had to have at least 50%. So I was humbled by it, and we're ready to go. So
our guest who joined us some time ago, we had him on. I think Anthony, when you announced you were going to run, but Anthony Forlini, first elected Macomb County Clerk in 2021, previously served in the Michigan House. Tell me a little bit about what your priorities would be.
Well, the obvious thing that's out there, Paul W., is the election integrity and bringing transparency to elections and having people feel comfortable about their elections again. That is the number one thing I've heard on the campaign trail was secure our elections. Let us believe in them. And as the county clerk, we've done several protocols, several changes to bring believability back to elections. Part of it was the recent thing we did with Ballot Verifier. You can come to our website and you can see how each of the tabulators actually recorded each and every vote and see what an actual ballot looked like and how that tabulator scored it. And I think that's the first thing that we have to bring to the office. And keep in mind, we take office in 2027. 2028 is right there. The election's in 2028. So we have to get going right away and make things happen. And that's a top priority.
We all want to know that the voter rolls are accurate. And I know that's something that you've talked about through real integrity, through standards and real competence, as opposed to just saying things or having slogans about it.
Yeah, and the important thing is to bring transparency to this whole process, because there's such a mystery behind the names and how people can FOIA information and how they get the FOIA information and the redactions that don't need to happen. And so I think it's important that we bring believability. We look at look at what we've done in the clerk's office, where we found we had over 640 people in Macomb County. I'm talking about just the jury pool that were non-citizens. They should never be there. That creates confusion. That creates chaos for us at the county level. So that needs to be screened out. And of course, a few of those got through onto the voting rolls, and a couple of them have voted. So we need to clean that up, and it's going to be a pretty busy process. Even at the county clerk's office, we took out hundreds of people that were no longer with us, meaning they're dead. They're no longer there. And so that was a process that really should be happening at the Secretary of State's level, as well as the local clerks.
And you will endeavor to do that, obviously.
100%.
You've also said that you'll be committed to the rule of law, due process, clear accountability, and lead the way, and in a way the public can measure, like enforce election law consistently, fairly, and evenly. Tell us some more things that you will do if you do become Secretary of State.
Yes, so that's important to know. This really shouldn't be about politics, the Secretary of State's office. It should be, listen, we're empowered to take care of elections, take care of the motor vehicle rules, take care of the Great Seal, and put politics aside. This is good for everybody. Anything that we do in our office is good for both Democrats and Republicans, and we need to focus on that, bringing real good service to the people of Michigan, like we've done in the county clerk's office. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. The service time to get into our office is 4 minutes, with or without an appointment. And then when you have your appointment and you get in, or you actually get in on the appointment, in under 10 minutes, you're out the door. That's service, and that's what people are expecting of us. Not politics, just good service.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. Anthony Forlini, Macomb County Clerk, talking about what he is currently doing, what he'd like to bring should he become our next Michigan Secretary of State, where he just got endorsed by his Republican Party. I'm thrilled to hear you say, and I feel you mean it when you say it, you're there to serve Michiganders, or even some of the Michiganians that are still around. You're here to serve the people. You're not here to find out first if they're a Republican or a Democrat. The things you want to do are things that should be good for everyone in the great state of Michigan. And I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Well, listen, we are all Americans. We all bleed the same blood. We are all looking for the same thing. We're all looking for election integrity. We are all looking for good service. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. It matters that you are a tax-paying citizen that expects a service, and that's what we're going to provide. We're going to provide a great service like we have in Macomb County, and as we have all the way through. We need to be accountable. If we can answer a question for one party, we can answer for the other party and keep everybody happy and move Michigan forward and put all the politics aside, because politics is destroying our country when it's brought down to a fairly vindictive way. We don't need
mud wrestling. It's not. Yes. It's worse than mud wrestling. Anthony, give your location people can go online, your website?
Yeah, so our website is our email is info@anthonyforlini.com. Our website is the same, anthonyforlini.com. And they can reach out to us, let us know if there's something they feel they can help us with our campaign. I'd love to have any help we can get because it's going to be a long way to November. A long way, but it's a short time.
AnthonyForlini.com. Forlini, Forlini, AnthonyForlini.com. Good luck to you, Anthony. Nice talking with you
Thanks,
again.
Paul W. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate being on again. Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you on as we continue in focus on WJR at 129. I missed while I was traveling my old friend Dr. Saul Kogan, and I'm just happy to see that things are going well. I trust that things are going well with his son, who is going to be in the Olympics one day, and we'll be able to talk about that. And that he's doing some special opportunities for you for spring, as well as you spring into a, thanks to Saul Kogan, Institute and his non-surgical, non-invasive treatments for severe and chronic back, neck, and knee pain. Intradisc neutrosis helps people with spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, sciatica pain, and degenerative disc disease avoid spine surgery. And Knee Restore RX helps those with osteoarthritis, meniscus tears, and muscle strains avoid knee replacement without shots, pills, or downtime. Hear the real words from a real patient. Quote, "Do not rush to surgery until you try this. I tried every treatment and surgery available to me for almost years for severe back pain, including I don't even know what this is, laminectomies. I've never heard of that, but a laminectomy, I can tell you I wouldn't want one. Heavy-duty opioids, we know how bad that can be. Injections and more. I did Dr. Kogan's treatment, and the pain in my lower back has gone away." End of quotes. Mention WJR in April and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. Let me say it again. Mention WJR in April, get a consultation, exam, X-ray, or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. You are going to love Dr. Saul Kogan and his team. Call them at 586-416-DISC. 586-416-DISC, which works out to be 586-416-3472. 586-416-3472. You will be glad you did, as you've heard from so many other people who have made the call. 132 at 760 WJR.
Harry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough. 47, gives us room to grow. People cheer, with Perry in the lead. We got nothing to fear. So here's to the future. Let's make it bright. Barry Johnson's lead. We'll win this fight. Together in Michigan. Well, a new dawn will rise. With a true conservative. Yeah, well, let's reach for the sky.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson, our governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
Spring into a pain-free life at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like, well, Kim and me, are happier and healthier since our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to Dr. Saul Kogan. His gentle, relaxing, non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc nutrition restore, stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain, or numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, there is help. When you mention WJR in April, you'll get a consultation, examination, X-ray or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Want to avoid surgery? Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472, 586-416-3472. Mention WJR. Call now.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk.
I'm Vince Colonnese, host of the Vince Podcast. I'm bringing you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories.
In-depth interviews.
We feature news-making interviews with the top guests on the whole planet. And I'll ask the questions you only dream of other interviewers asking.
And a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. You are going to love Vince.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Paul W. here, and throughout the course of our lives, we all have those people who we can count on. People who would drop everything and rush to help us if we have a challenge to overcome. That's the textbook definition of dependability. And now for 87 years, Anders. Somebody's already calling me on this. That's how important this is. Sorry. As I was saying, for 87 years now, Michiganders have counted on Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan to stand behind us during life's biggest moments. Babies being born, broken bones being repaired. Times when we need care that improves the quality and length of life. This is an astonishing figure. I want you to hear this. Do you know that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan pays more than $100 million every day for the care of millions of us? They pay more than $100 million a day for our care. Doing their work in partnership with doctors and hospitals, providing health insurance in every zip code in all 83 Michigan counties. You can see why I'm so proud to be a part of the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan family under the great leadership of Tricia Keith, the president and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Because Blue Cross makes sure we get the care we need wherever and whenever we need it, thanks to their nationwide network of 2 million participating care providers. Standing behind us every 7 years. When you can rely on a company to be there for you again and again and again and again, that's dependability. That's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Learn more about their work at mibluedaily.com. You'll be glad you did. It's important you know this. Go to MI, as in Michigan, mibluedaily.com. We continue in focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR.
Catch up with Dave Llewellyn on his podcast, now available on WJR.com.
Pamela Good, co-founder of Beyond Basics, literacy. How big a problem is it?
There are a lot of things that have snuck up on us. And one of those is when the universities decided to do away with phonics. Mm-hmm. And when they did that, they really took out the foundational components of that. You know, most people believe that America's foundation of education is still reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Supposed to be, right?
It is now whole language, no cursive, and new math.
Yeah. The Dave Llewellyn Podcast. Go to WJR.com/Llewellyn. That's WJR.com/LEW Llewellyn.
You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I have such great respect for this man and his entire family. I've said it a million times. I don't need to say it every time, but I can't help myself because he's just that kind of guy. And we are so lucky to have Michael Bouchard, his lovely wife, Pam, and their kids. And one of them you've gotten to know lately because he's running for office, young Mike Bouchard. But the original Mike Bouchard, the Oakland County Sheriff, is on the line with me right now. Now I have to make it clear which Mike Bouchard I'm talking to, Sheriff.
Yeah, this is 1.0.
Well,
there's been an upgrade.
Well, he's a good kid. You and Pam have done a great job with all your kids. But let me get to this point because time always rushes by and we're having fun. You've created an idea that you want to try out for a 9-month trial of what's called flock surveillance drones. Tell me what that means.
Well, actually, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So, A, we don't want surveillance drones, and B, we're not creating something new. For almost 5 years, we've been running a program called DFR, Drones as First Responders. They're not used as a surveillance tool. They're used to respond to situations and calls specifically. So that if someone, for example, we pair two different technologies, both the drone and the thing we call live 911, so that our drone operators can geofence the calls that they can reach with a drone and listen to the actual caller. Somebody may be calling in saying, there's somebody trying to break in my home and I'm terrified and here's my address. The drone operator can launch the drone even before a car gets sent and goes directly to the call, whatever that call may be. And it gets overhead and begins to transmit real-time information via to the that there's a car parked on the street. I see a person, he's wearing a blue jacket, he's trying to kick in the front door. Whatever the information is, they're relaying that real time. We've been doing it for almost 5 years. So the misinformation is this is a new program, A, or B, that it's a surveillance program, and it is not. And it's not either of those things. It's an existing program which responds to calls. It's not a surveillance program. It is a drones as first responder program. And the reason we're looking at other platforms, other equipment, is much like the analogy when they no longer made Crown Vics at Ford. We had to decide, do we want Tahoes or Explorers or both? And so that's the same thing. Our current drone fleet, we no longer can get, and we have to find a replacement model. Flock is one of the American providers that is authorized by the federal government to be used in America. But the other one that we will also be looking at is called Skydio. So that's primarily what it is. Again, a lot of misinformation. Every DFR flight we fly, you can actually look at it on our transparency dashboard. It shows you what the call was, what route they flew, and as soon as the call's over, the camera comes up to the sky and it flies back to base. So it's not a surveillance program and it's not new.
Well, first of all, I have no problem with surveillance programs. I don't know why so many people do. I don't know why people start arguing and complaining about this and saying their rights are being infringed upon when it's for their own safety. That's for another conversation. The important thing to note here is this is apparently nothing new. You've been doing it for 5 years. And for example, the 9-month trial of flock surveillance drones is, if I have the information correct, free. It doesn't cost anybody anything unless you continue the program after 9.
Correct. It's 100% free, and I doubt it's going to take us 9 months. And the only reason that actually came to the commission was out of an abundance of transparency, because a lot of people don't like the name Flock. So, because of other kinds of things, other cameras, LPRs, and other things. So the reality is we can T&E, test and evaluate equipment all the time without ever telling the public. We tell the public everything. That's why we have a public transparency dashboard. We have an 11-page policy on drone use that specifically says that it's not to invade privacy. It's not to be used to surveil people and all of the kinds of things people are talking about. We already both prohibit it by policy and by practice. And so our program has documented saved lives. And I'll tell you one quick story that kind of exemplifies the capability it has. So there was a case in Ohio where a woman called in among a number of callers to 911, said there's a guy with a gun. He's pointing at people. They're terrified. He could be a young guy, a young kid, could be a juvenile. I'm not sure, but he's pointing this gun. People are terrified. It could be a toy gun, but I'm not sure, but people are terrified. Police roll up. The kid turns on them. It had been modified such that it didn't have an orange tip. It looked like a real gun. The police shoot him when he turns in their direction and kill him. Terrible tragedy. Fast forward, in our DFR program, Drones as First Responders, call comes in, person having a mental health crisis. He has a gun. DFR launches, is overhead before our deputies who are racing the scene get there. They spot the guy. They tell the deputies where he is so they know how to approach safely for them and the community. And they keep watching the guy as the deputies are traveling to the scene. Before there, they say he has a phone in his hand, not a gun. That's pretty important information because now they don't approach him with guns out. They walk up to him saying, "Hey, what's going on, man?" He had a gun, but it wasn't in his hands. So the drone information completely diffused what could have been a very tragic moment. Those kinds of things you can't put a price tag on. And those kinds of things are what we use for drones as first responders to go to events or situations where information can save lives.
Well, look, the average person hasn't known you as long as I've known you and know you as well as I know you. Anything Sheriff Mike Bouchard comes up with that he wants to have at his availability as Oakland County Sheriff and for his hardworking men and women, I'm all for it because I completely trust him. Completely trust Sheriff Michael Bouchard in all the years I've known him. So he's in this business. This is what he does. People from around the country and around the world call upon him for help. So I'm just telling you, if he wants to do this, folks, let him do it. It's the right thing to do. He would not steer you wrong. He would not do anything that he didn't think was in the best interest of his constituents in Oakland County. I don't know how else.
Or anything that violates their rights or privacy, because I don't want that. This is strictly call and incident driven. And by the way, you know, when people talk about surveillance and drones, they're thinking of military drones. The ones we use have about 20 or 30-minute battery life. That's not a surveillance tool if it's got to come back to home after 20 minutes. And it has to, by law, be under 400 feet, which means you can see and hear it. So by no metrics is that a very effective surveillance tool, even if we wanted to, and we don't.
No, and I just got an idea. You can also deliver to-go food and try to get this paid for by offering another business.
Well, you raise an important point. You know who's way more violative of your privacy? Private companies. You know who's flying drones all over the place now? Amazon. They can videotape anything they want. They can sell that video or information. We share none of that with anyone. They can commercialize it. Next thing you know, you're going to be getting an ad saying, "Hey, your lawn furniture by your pool looks a little rough, Paul."
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to make a joke out of this. I'm trying to make a joke out of it. Now you got me scared to death. Okay.
Well, I'm saying that, you know, that's who's really going after our privacy is commercial businesses.
Okay, Michael. God bless you. Best to Pam and the family. Mike Bouchard, Oakland County Sheriff. He tells it like it is.
Friend.
See you later. Boy, 147 WJR. Speaking of friends, let me start with this. I've known Mike Fallahy for a very long time, had him done work at a couple of our houses over the years, and never have been disappointed. His team is phenomenal. They're all Mary Grove employees. They're the best. And Mary Grove can often install your awning in as little as 48 hours. That's not 6 weeks. That's not, oh, well, we'll call you. That's 48 hours. That's still this week. And that's because Mike Fallahy, that good friend of mine, and his family have been running Mary Grove right here in Detroit for over 90 years. 90 years in this town means you either build it right or you're gone. And Marygrove is not gone. Marygrove only makes motorized awnings. No cranks, no shortcuts. You hit the remote, instant shade. Heavy-duty framing, fully enclosed housing to protect the fabric. Built-in LED lights. Adjustable pitch when the weather turns. And there are no middlemen, no random subcontractors. Real Marygrove employees installing it, backed by a 10-year warranty. I've invited them into my homes and never been disappointed. Here's what you do. You go to marygrove.com right now. marygrove.com and book the free in-home appointment. It takes about 5 minutes. It's easy. It's low pressure. You could be sitting under your new awning in as little as 48 hours. Don't wait for the weather. Do it now and enjoy this additional space at your home we call the backyard. Only it's now the backyard under great control of your Marygrove awning. Go to marygrove.com, marygrove.com. Detroit built, 90 years strong, faster than anyone in the industry. marygrove.com, or that number, you can sing it if you want, 1-800-44-AWNING, 1-800-44-AWNING. We continue on WJR.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Need a little extra financial support? DFCU Financial has your back, whether you're growing a business, planning a big purchase, or making a move. Go to DFCUfinancial.com. See site for details. Equal housing lender.
At Average Al's Furniture Warehouse, our sofas have cushions, our tables have 4 legs, our recliners recline. So come on by for a perfectly average experience.
Cumulus Digital doesn't stop at average. We work with more than 4,000 local businesses every month, delivering campaigns that beat industry averages by over 25%, driving real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen every Sunday at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. A conversation on all things education, from parents and students to educators and policymakers. School Talks is dedicated to in-depth discussions and analysis with experts on a wide range of topics in education. Sponsored by Collins and Blaha, attorneys at law, specializing in the representation of school districts. Collins and Blaha, your education experts. collinsandblaha.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
It's Car Care Month, and Summit Racing has what you need for bumper-to-bumper care. Revive the interior, exterior, underhood, and more. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 3rd, 2026.
You'll find the traffic lights at Telegraph Road and East Corton Road are all out in all directions due to a crash. We have construction 75 northbound between Dix Highway and Southfield Road. That's causing backups to Northline Road. Scheduled to 2 o'clock this afternoon. Construction has the 2 left lanes closed. I-96 westbound between Levan and I-275 and the Lodge northbound. That off-ramp to northbound 75, that's closed due to repairs until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a high of 81 degrees. Rain showers early with scattered thunderstorms arriving overnight and a low of 62. Cloudy skies during the morning hours on Wednesday, followed by thunderstorms in the afternoon with a high of 74. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
I found the note I was looking for from when we had Doug Johnson on from Cruise and Tour. They had a few cabins remaining for our big trip, the excellent adventure, August 11th through the 22nd of this year to Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain. And today is the day they have to turn them back in if somebody doesn't speak up and want them. I hope you'll join us. We got a nice group of fellow like-minded WJR listeners going. You'll make some lifelong friends. And if you go with us, you've gone before, you'll see some people that you remember traveling with, or new people. You'll become a part of the gang. And it's really, I ran into people on our trip just a couple weeks ago with Kim who love Azamara. They say they love Azamara, which, I'm not as familiar. But Azamara Onward is the ship will be on August 11th through the 22nd. Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain. This is the final day. And I hope they hang on to them all day today, but they were supposed to have them until April 14th, which is what today is. If there's any chance you want to join us on that excellent adventure, call 800-383-3131. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and you will make friends, like-minded, no political arguments at all. 800-383-3131, 800-383-3131. All right, we took care of that. I understand that Ryan is in the midst of an interview or something right now.
Oh, he's giving me the thumbs up, so I guess he just wrapped it up.
All right, I hope it was a good interview, Ryan. I'm sure it was. Is it going to be coming up on the show?
Actually, it was a Zoom call. I'm going to the Indianapolis 500 this year. And I had some coverage regarding that I had to take care of. But, Paul, I'm not going to miss an opportunity to speak with you. So I said, I got to go. I got to talk to Paul W.
I got to Zoom off this Zoom call. Well, I'll tell you this. You're going to love the Indy 500, and we don't have a lot of time to talk about it. I'll tell you one day of my experience. I had never been, but I went under the best of circumstances. But, again, tell me about what's going on for you today.
I'm going to talk heavily about this idea of the Pope and the president going back and forth with each other and all of the problems that can come from that. We're going to be talking to the former ambassador of the Holy See. We're going to do that next.
Oh, boy. All right. Here, let me help you with this. Let me predict the winner out of this battle between the Pope and the president. Nobody!
Exactly.
Nobody wins in something like this. It shouldn't have even begun. It shouldn't have happened. Shame.
I agree. But that's what we're doing. And, well, you almost have to go, but I've got a lot more today. I'm fired up today, Paul. This is going to be a good show to listen to today. I'm fired up.
Another good show, JR Afternoon with Ryan Armani. Stand by for news, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Regards, Paul W. Smith.